Hello. Welcome back to the show. Whatever the hell we're calling this. I don't even know. It's definitely not a show, but whatever. I've been kind of hiding for a few months now. I've been going through a lot, and I just felt like, who the hell am I to sit in front of a camera and tell everybody it's rainbows and butterflies when I don't even believe that myself? So I definitely wasn't in a headspace to be telling people about how to change their lives with a little bit of fucking manifestation when I didn't even believe in manifestation just yesterday. So, but then I realized, you know what? Maybe this is more beneficial, impactful, whatever the hell we want to call it, than telling you guys some woo-woo shit that honestly nobody really wants to hear sometimes. But that's not an authentic spiritual journey. It's just not, because that's not life. And with any healing journey or spiritual journey, there are highs and there are lows. And you're never going to avoid pain. Like, just because you're a little more spiritual and a little more healed, it doesn't mean you completely escape pain and trauma and challenges. It just doesn't work that way. So I guess this might help more people than some other fake smile shit. I don't even know what the hell to call it. But yeah, I've been really going through it. And the truth is, I've been really going through it for the last 3 years. And it's been rough. You know, I got out of a relationship. It rocked my fucking world. I was in a situation where I quite literally was deteriorating. Physically, mentally, everything. I mean, at one point I weighed 103 pounds. I know a couple people had addressed it with me and were like, girl, you look sick. You look sick. You're sick. So it took me a really long time to get back up on my feet. And it was no easy battle, you know, like I was seriously pulling myself from rock bottom. Somebody gave me an example the other day of like Batman. There's a scene where I think it's like Bane or something is in this pit, or Batman's in the fucking pit, and there's a rope, and the only way out of the pit is the rope. That was me, okay? I'm probably butchering the reference, but that was fucking me. And I did it. I got out on the other side, better than ever, you know? And I know I go through these waves of where it feels like rock bottom, but it's only to make me 10 times stronger. And I always do come out the other side 10 times stronger. And the thing is, I'm not even remotely the same person I was just a week ago, let alone a year ago. It's actually wild. And sometimes it makes me really sad because I look back on the person I was and I'm like, damn, she's dead. You know, like, she's gone. She is long gone. Sometimes things come along in my life that completely discourage me from any type of hope or belief in love or spirituality or whatever the case may be. And then I have to go through this whole transformation of getting myself back to a point of where, I don't know, I love life again, I guess. I don't know if that makes sense, but maybe somebody out there can relate. And yeah, I guess here's what happened, you know, because I think sharing these types of things are super beneficial to so many people out there. And like, it's not me bashing somebody or putting someone on blast. It's just not it. It's my story. It's my life. For Pete's sake, people can learn from my mistakes. So it's not me trying to come for the other person or make them look bad. It's actually just being honest with myself and being honest with you guys about some of the things I've gone through. So please, save the ego for another time. Because none of us need it today. Okay? Especially me. I don't give a rat's ass anymore. After my breakup, I went through a period where I wouldn't talk to anybody. I wouldn't even go on a date. And I decided sometime in the spring that I was ready. It was like May. I was ready to put myself back out there. And I met this guy on a little app called fucking Raya. I mean, kill me now. That should have been the first red flag. Anyways, let's call him Brooklyn. Okay. So Brooklyn direct requests me. He's blowing up my phone, saying he wants to see me, he wants to take me out, all these fabulous things. Yeah. Reluctantly, I give the guy a chance. Now, that's not me being jaded. That's just me being hurt. Being scared of getting hurt again. And it's not like I'm better than anyone. No, like, please, relax. So I give the guy a chance, you know? I'm like, come on, you've got to put yourself out there again. You can't wither away in this apartment with the cats. It can't happen. So I go on a date with him, and it was great. We actually had an amazing time, a lot in common. He was the funniest guy I've probably ever met. And I mean that. So there's a compliment. And things move quick. Like the next day he wants to see me, and then there was a little bit of a gap, but it was nice because it felt healthy, and like I still felt like I could do my own thing and I wasn't dependent on this person. And then the next date he's like, I want to cook for you. I'm like, what the hell? Relax, Bobby Flay. Like, this is crazy. And we have the most magical time. Seriously, I mean it. It was like a movie. Nobody's ever cooked for me, ever. Like, this was super foreign. He was a great cook. He was also vegetarian, all these things. It was like we really were a great match. After a few more amazing times hanging out, you know, whatever, Brooklyn decides to lay it on me that he's going to flee the country, essentially, and spend the summer in Europe. This is key to the story, okay? This guy goes completely ghost, and I was fine with it, like, to an extent. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't upset and wasn't like, damn, that kind of sucked. Like, I was just starting to really like this person, and I thought we had a connection, and now they're gone. And I'm not an idiot. I know what this guy was doing in Ibiza and this and that, the other, like, all over Europe. If you've ever been to Europe, you know it's a bunch of beautiful people. It's ridiculous. So I'm not an idiot. And it's summer. The world was in Ibiza at one point. So I move on and I try to forget this guy, you know, go on a couple of other dates. It's not the end of the world. But for some reason, I just couldn't stop thinking about him. It was crazy. So eventually the guy comes back and I'm like, well, shit, should I just put myself out there and reach out and be a little vulnerable? So I did. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Now, keep in mind, I hadn't heard from him in months. Didn't reach out once. Didn't call, nothing. So I reach out. I'm like, hey, what's going on? He was like, oh my God, I'd love to see you. I'd love to hear from you, whatever. This whole thing picks back up. When the reality of the situation was that I should have just called it then and there. Like, him going to Europe at his age, clearly emotionally unavailable, clearly talking to a million other women, I should have just moved on. But there was a part of me that still just wanted to know if this thing was really done. So the whole thing picks back up again. We're seeing each other. He's blowing up my phone. I want to see you. I want to see you. La la la. Now, the second I start to get close, I start to get super dependent. Now, I'm sharing this with you to be super honest. I know I have a tendency to become a little codependent. Why? Well, I have a crippling, debilitating fear of abandonment. And at the time, I hated the idea of being alone. And I really was almost borderline obsessed with this working out. But the truth is, I created this fantasy of him. I really did. It feels like a movie. I just don't know how to explain it. So then he's like, I want to come to your place. I'm like, yes, finally. He's like, how's tomorrow sound? I'm like, oh my God, you know? Now I'm cooking all day. I made a cheese board that, impressed me. I was like, how did I do this? All right? I was shocked. Then I made stuffed artichokes. I mean, those things are really tricky and they're spiky. I mean, whoa. Burnt myself making it. I mean, then I made vodka sauce from scratch, of course. I mean, I went all out. And then, just to prove how pathetic I am, I remembered he likes ponzu sauce. So I was like, oh, I've got to make sure I have fucking ponzu sauce. He rolls up hours late. I'm like, oh my God, Mr. Grumpy Pants over here couldn't be more unexcited. It just was like, oh my God, I did all this for you to be in a shit mood? Ever since, not a peep. I mean, what are you gonna do? I can't chase after, a production like that. I can't. The thing is, when we were together, it was magical. I've never felt this way about anybody. But looking back, that probably was all a facade. Okay? There were times where I genuinely believed that this person was my fucking soulmate. Now let me explain. There's this thing you can do in astrology. Welcome to, the psychic bit of this fucking show. You basically can map out how you'll know when you've met your soulmate. It's like a sign, an object, a moment, an event. For Travis and Taylor, it's a bow and arrow. They met at Arrowhead. He plays for the Chiefs. It's this whole thing. People are shook. For me, it's spilt water and a flood. Now, the day I did this, the guy texts me that his entire house flooded. Now, this obviously fed into a lot of delusions. A lot. I was like, but if anything, it made me way more dependent on him and this situation working out. So, rookie mistake. Now, I'm going to pause for a second. A lot of times, people come to me for tarot readings or whatever, and they're convinced that this person is their soulmate, their twin flame. They went to this tarot reader and this, that, the other, and they go down this rabbit hole. But Ella, I'm seeing angel numbers. That is the most unhealthy thing you can do for yourself. I'm just telling you right now. Because one, you stop surrendering to the universe. You stop going with the flow. And now you're obsessing and putting out so much needy energy that you're just absolutely repelling anything and anyone that could possibly come your way. Don't manifest a specific person. And let me explain why. Can you do it? Yes, of course. It's the laws of fucking the universe. It just, of course you can manifest a specific person. But what if you're over here manifesting John from fucking high school, but the universe has David Beckham waiting in the background? And they're like, okay, yeah, no problem, girlfriend. We'll give you John, but we like kind of had this better thing that you didn't know about in the works. I would just surrender and let it go. And I was doing this with this person where I felt like, no, it can't possibly get any better than this. But the truth is, when we were apart, it was awful. Awful. This guy's actions did not line up to his words, ever. He would say he wanted to see me, but made pretty much no effort to see me. I want to take you on a date. I want to take you to dinner, all this stuff. Never did. And would go weeks without messaging me or saying a word. Not even a hi, how you doing? Nothing. This is what happened. And this is how it absolutely all exploded. Now keep in mind, I was obsessing. I was putting out so much needy energy. This thing had to work or else I don't even know what the hell, like, universe strike me dead. You know what I mean? There was one weekend in particular where he told me he was going away. I'm not saying where, nada, okay? But he was blowing up my phone saying he wanted to see me. And I'm like, okay, puppy dog. Like, whatever. And I believed him. I was like, yeah, great, fantastic. And it's pulling at all of my heartstrings. And I'm like, this is, oh my God, I can't wait to see him. Oh my fucking God. So he's sending me pictures of him on the way to wherever the hell he's going. He's posting pictures on his fucking Instagram, making it look like he's all by his lonesome. Now on the Monday, I get back from work, I do a meditation, I do tarot, I pop up, and instantly, I get a random notification basically exposing that this guy was not alone. Let's just put it that way, okay? This one comment single-handedly exposed all of these other women that he had been also seeing over the course of this time that we had been talking. Now, when I tell you it was a goddamn yearbook, I mean, what in the actual fuck? Okay? This was crazy. This is a man I had poured my heart out to, saying like, I really like you, and I was super vulnerable with. This is also a man who was honest with me and said he didn't want anything. Now I know why. What are you gonna do, you know? But I was shattered. Completely done. Like, that killed. Mostly because there was a lot of ego involved. Seeing this many other women brought up all of my insecurities. All of them. Because they were really good looking women. You know? Like, guys got great taste. So it sucked. It was like, okay, these women are better than me, and they, like, this whole nasty internal dialogue kicked off. It was super unhealthy, and it shattered me. Now, looking back, this guy was the worst player I had ever met in my entire life. Seriously. It was sick. That's his life. It's his choice. He's entitled to live it however the hell he wants to live it. But my choice is if I want to be a part of it. And that's the only thing I can control. But I was making a conscious choice to settle for it and be a part of it. That's on me. This guy isn't to blame. He's not an evil person. That's his life. So now for me, I've just got to take it as a lesson and move on. I can't harp on it. I can't try to bring him back as a better person. No, just politely send him peace and love and move on. Now, the day I close this chapter, I swear to God, the exact day that I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm done. I deserve 10 times better. And moving forward, I'm not going to settle for anything less. I wipe away the goddamn tears and I'm like, let's pick ourselves back up. Simultaneously, and I mean it, this other guy comes out the woodworks. I mean, completely from left field. It was like the moment I opened my phone. Now this guy's from Hinge, whatever, if you were wondering. We're gonna call him Mr. Perfect, just for shits and giggles, okay? If you were curious, the first guy was a Leo, this guy's a Cancer, okay? I don't know, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that this was the universe's way of saying, listen, you deserve better, here. I took it as a sign. So this guy is like, okay, here's what we're doing. We're going to this place today at this time. It was amazing. It was like, I love a man with a plan. This guy's perfect. So we go, we meet up, and it's a great time. It felt like I knew this guy forever. I didn't need to put on an act. I could 110% be myself, which I couldn't really with Brooklyn, but whatever. And it just was amazing. He was great. It just was great. I was taking everything super slow and trying to learn from my past mistakes. I was like, okay, with this guy, I'm going to play my cards right. He's giving me everything that I'm looking for. Don't fuck it up. And I was. I played all of my cards right. I was the right amount of nice, the right amount of interested, but at the same time, the right amount of guarded and completely detached from the outcome. The guy sleeps over, nothing happens, and we had the most amazing morning. We get on scooters, we go riding around Jersey City. It's this magical thing. He leaves, and that day, blowing up my phone, constant communication. I mean, A+ for communication. This guy just blew me out of the water. I had never seen anything like it. But it wasn't like a chore for either one of us. We just genuinely enjoyed talking to each other. It was so much fun and it was exciting, and I haven't been that excited in a really long time. Considering Brooklyn over here didn't even know how to use his phone. So the guy leaves, he goes home and sends me in an Uber a gift. I'm like, oh my God, this guy is fucking perfect. Now keep in mind, I'm still guarded, still detached, still doing my thing, keeping my options open, doing everything in my power not to get attached and ruin this thing, okay? I was just completely flowing. I was flowing. After date 1, which was the night he slept over, he plans 3 more dates. On this Sunday, he's like, I'm taking you to the spa, and then I'm going to take you to your favorite restaurant afterwards, Planta, if you were wondering. It's vegan. It's amazing. I'm like, oh my God, finally, a guy who's treating me like a princess. Now, the thing with me is I don't really like saying that because I believe that it should be 50-50. So I was equally kind of like being nice back. I got him like crystal bracelets that I thought was nice, and he was super appreciative. He was like, oh my God, nobody's ever gotten me a gift, and it was nice. It was like, whatever, but that's my love language. I love gift giving. It makes me so happy, and I like to see other people happy, and it's really not like this weird thing where I'm trying to be clingy. It's just how I am. Like this morning, I went and got my doorman a coffee. Do I want to marry the guy? No, but I just really like making people's day like that. It's just how I am. So he plans this Sunday date. I'm so excited, counting down the days. Before then, he takes me to an Italian restaurant. Magic, spends the night, still haven't done a goddamn thing because I want to take it really fucking slow. And I know myself, and I know I will get attached if I slept with the guy. So I made a conscious choice not to. It was great. So before all of you say, well, I didn't. whatever. But we didn't need to. We just really genuinely enjoyed spending time with one another. He was just amazing. And then we do the Italian date on the Thursday. We're going to have the spa day on the Sunday. He even made one more date. He was going to take me to River Cafe, my dream date. Seriously. All I want is for a guy to take me there, but it doesn't fucking matter. Anyways, so after the Thursday date, he spends the night, and it was great, whatever. He's so amazing with my cats. I just was really starting to fall for him. Now, this is date number 3. This is key, because date number 3 is where I typically start to panic. So I call one of my really good friends, and I'm telling him about this guy and what's going on and that I'm panicking. And I'm like, this is either gonna crush me or this is gonna be great. But I'm petrified that I'm gonna get hurt. Petrified. And so I tell him this and he's like, listen, just open your heart. Be a little vulnerable and just take a leap of faith and just go for it. And it's okay if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But this guy is treating you like a queen. Just open up a little bit. I know it's scary opening up. It gave me this whole thing, and I was like, okay, I've been super guarded with this guy. He's doing everything right. He's exceeding my expectations. Nobody, no guy has ever treated me this well. So give him a fair chance. Open up a little bit. And so he leaves on Friday. He slept over on Thursday, whatever. He goes, but I knew instantly there was something off. He was different. He was more distant. I don't know what happened. So the second he starts to get a little distant, I start to panic. And like that, folks, I think this is moving too fast, is what the man said. And I can't do this. I need space. This is the same guy who said that there's no limits to how often we could see each other when I said, slow it down, Buster. And that's when I'm like, oh my God, oh no, this thing has to work out. That can't be over, like, grasping. I'm falling. I'm free falling. And simultaneously, this is when I started to get clingy and codependent and all these things and started to give off like needy energy. And I haven't heard from him since. When I tell you I had a true dark night of the soul moment, believe me. I just had these 2 guys come into my life. One who treated me like absolute shit. Let's just call a spade here. And one who treated me like a queen. And no matter what I did, either way, it was a lose-lose. That's how I felt in the moment. Seriously. Now, obviously, looking back, I know that's like, whatever. Just, I'm telling you why I was so affected by this. So I'm gutted, okay? Seriously, it felt like my heart shattered. I was on the floor at one point. I couldn't even stand, hysterically crying, okay? I know that sounds super dramatic, but I just cracked. I was like, why the fuck is this happening? Why? I can't do anything right. You have a guy here who treats me like shit, and then you have a guy here who treats me like a princess, and no matter what, it just ends in me getting hurt. Why? Like, I'm never gonna open up again. I'm never gonna talk to anybody ever again. And I just went down this dramatic rabbit hole of like, fuck this, I'm done, writing everybody off. I was in such a victim mentality of like, whatever, and the truth is, I'm to blame. Now, I know that sounds crazy. You're like, don't be so hard on yourself. It's not your fault. You're the right package, wrong address. It doesn't matter. I have to take full accountability for my actions, okay? Whether it be something I missed, like a sign or a red flag, I don't know. The first guy, I settled for less. I knew what I was getting myself into. I knew that this guy was going to be a player. I can't give too much detail because it will completely just fuck things up, and I don't want that kind of attention on him or myself, but I knew it. I knew what I signed up for. Why did I think that this guy felt the same way about me when he wouldn't even text me? The bare minimum. I should have walked away from that, and I settled for less. I'm in control of how people treat me. I allow it. So if I were to not allow him to treat me like that, he wouldn't have treated me like that. Plain and simple. Now this other guy, I completely scared away. It's like, that's the truth. And whether he has his own wounds that he needs to address and whatever, that's irrelevant. The fact that I allowed myself to get attached or let this situation have this much power over my happiness and my confidence is ridiculous. It shouldn't have ever gotten to that point. This guy, perhaps was love bombing me. I don't know. Probably. I should have just been careful, and I should have just had the correct boundaries and self-concept in place so that the situation wouldn't have affected me the way it did regardless. Maybe there was another girl that he met, or maybe somebody said something about, I don't know, and I still don't know what really happened. I have to take care of myself, and I have to love myself enough so that this person isn't creating a void. I'm already complete and whole exactly as I am. So I wallowed for a little bit. I was in a dark spot. Like, seriously, I couldn't sleep. I just felt like this is it. I had been through so much in my love life where I couldn't take it anymore. It just was the straw that broke the camel's back. These people I'm attracting are a direct reflection of how I view myself. And I can go around saying I'm as confident as I want to, but the truth of the matter is I wasn't. And I knew that these people were bringing to light things I still needed to heal. And so over the last few weeks, I've been trying to do that. Because I lost myself. I wasn't comfortable being alone. I wasn't secure in myself. I wasn't confident. I wasn't taking care of myself. And I am all I've got. And the cats, whatever. But I can't even take care of the cats if I'm not my best self. So I have to start with me. It was unfortunate, but it's not about them. I hope you know that. This episode is not about them. It's about me. Because if I had an amazing self-concept, and if I had a positive internal dialogue with myself, if my thoughts were positive, if I was in control of my own thoughts, none of this would have happened. I was unintentionally manifesting worst case scenarios with both of them. And I was unintentionally allowing them to treat me less than. Because if I poured love into myself, if I truly felt that I deserved better, then this wouldn't have affected me the way it did, and it wouldn't have happened. Period. I had to take a really long, hard look in the mirror and realize that I am amazing. I didn't believe it, but I am amazing. And the last 2 episodes, I'm sitting here telling you guys to, believe that you're the best thing since sliced bread when I didn't even believe it about myself. How can I do that? I have to practice what I preach. The thing is, I know those things to be true, meaning these concepts. I know the law of assumption inside and out. I believe wholeheartedly in my spirituality. I know it. I believe in energy and all these things. And sometimes moments come around where I completely lose all faith and belief in it. And that's okay. This spiritual journey is never going to be linear for me, ever. And that's fine. I had to get back to a point where I genuinely believed that I am amazing. And that was hard because I had these external things in my environment telling me otherwise. But why the fuck would I allow somebody else to make me feel less than? That's a me problem, 100%. Even just taking this year alone, I have so much to be proud of. I did 3 comedy shows at Gotham Comedy Club. I invested all my money into doing this show. Even if I haven't been consistent with it, I've done it. And that's really hard. A lot of people just won't do it. Spending all this time alone has been such a journey, and getting finally comfortable and happy and feeling at peace with being alone. That alone is something to be super proud of. I got a new job that I love. It's amazing. All these things I should be not only proud of, but also grateful for. I went to an astrologer. I go to him once a year. And he told me that the biggest theme for my life in this lifetime is change. Constant change. In order to have this weird spiritual transformation over and over and over and over again. It's constantly transforming because of change. All the time. And the way change comes about for me in this lifetime is through love and relationships. Go figure. It blows my mind. I'm not even remotely the same person I was a year ago. And it's actually wild to me to watch videos, even like from like my Snapchat memories of me in LA. It's mind-boggling. I don't even recognize that person, which is scary. But in a lot of ways, it's something to be proud of. Because I wasn't the best person in LA. If you think I'm bad with guys now, holy shit. I had the lowest self-worth. I was doing copious amounts of drugs, partying 6 nights a week, 7 if I could. It was not something to be proud of. But in a lot of ways, there were many, many, many things about living in LA that I am super proud of. The fact that I did it at 19 with about $300 in my bank account with a cat and then accumulated another and lived off of dry cereal and rice. Like, a lot to be proud of. So I'm not going to beat myself up. I'm going to try to be empathetic there. I wanted to be really vulnerable, and I don't care if these guys say, like, it doesn't fucking matter. This is my story. I don't know, maybe this will be the most helpful, impactful episode yet, just being honest. I still need to heal from this. I still need to work on myself. And now I know that I'm not going to prematurely put myself out there again or get romantically involved with anyone until I am 110% ready. I'm fine. Like, I hate to sound dramatic. I'm fine. I'm doing really well, actually. But I know where I want to get to mentally, spiritually, physically. And so I just have to give myself that time and grace to get there before anything. This was a fucking lot. And please don't come for me for this. I'm just trying to follow my intuition, and I'm trying to speak the truth, and I'm trying to help people. And those are my only intentions. My intentions are not to make people look bad or to hurt people's feelings or to start drama. It's just not my intention. Anyways, if you've made it this far, Jesus Christ, thank you for tuning in. And I just want to say I love you guys so much. I really do. And I hope you all have an amazing week, day, month, year, whatever the hell. And know that I'm rooting for you and I'm cheering for you through whatever you're going through. So, I love you guys. Please make sure to like, follow, subscribe, do what you gotta do for the love of God. I'm serious about this, and I can't thank you guys enough for your support. So, that's all I got. Okay? Bye!